What's going on, guys? So I went to TJ Maxx. As you could see, they've rearranged where the fragrances are at this TJ Maxx. I looked, I didn't see jack squat in the men's section. Women's section didn't really have anything, so I didn't even bother filming nothing. We grabbed a few other things, and as we're going through the aisle to check out, I come across the men's fragrance section. And what do I find? One of the very few fragrances I'm on the lookout every time I go. The two fragrances I've been hunting down out the rack stores is this, Mercedes-Benz Man Grey, which I have coming from FragranceNet now, and Cool Water Parfum, which I found a couple weeks back. So, other than random surprises, there's nothing specific I'm looking for at the rack stores now. But 100 ml, $31.99, great price. I think it's somewhere in that realm, 30 to 40 bucks online, so it's kind of going rate from discounters. I see a lot of scent of the day posts in my Facebook group from time to time for this fragrance. I haven't read any notes. I've looked at it before. I want to say there's like citrus, something aquatic, like maybe sea notes, lavender, things like that, but I don't remember the full note breakdown. I do know it's supposed to be somewhat of a very fresh aquatic fragrance. So we're going to bust this open and give it a sniff and see what I think about it, and then we'll pull up the notes and compare what I believe it to be and what I smell versus what the note breakdown actually is. So I'm very excited about this one. And here we have it. This is actually a very heavy bottle. I'm kind of surprised. Love the color. I mean, reminiscent of Invictus Aqua's gradient design, First Instinct together from Abercrombie and Fitch. Just, I mean, blue and gray and high-vis yellow are my three favorite colors. And, yeah, definitely feels of quality. This feels like a damn weapon. Magnetic cap, gotta love. I don't have the original Missoni Parfum Pour Homme. I know it smells like Bleu de Chanel. I have smelled it before. I just don't own it myself. I've kind of procrastinated getting it, but gotta love playing with magnetic caps. So let's see what this Atomizer looks like. Pretty solid. That's familiar. That's very familiar. Two good sprays. Wow, I just like painted my forearm with this stuff. So great Atomizer. It's very familiar. It reminds me, I do smell a little bit of like an orange smell. Sea notes. It's a little creamy, powdery, kind of like Versace Pour Homme. Versace, I think that's actually one of the comparisons for this, if I remember correctly. I think it's Versace Pour Homme, what people compare it to, actually. Slipped my mind. It does smell like Versace Pour Homme, but it smells like there's more going on here than Versace Pour Homme. It smells a little stronger for sure. The sea notes and this citrus is a bit stronger than Versace Pour Homme. Okay, I grabbed Versace Pour Homme. I'm very curious. We're going to spray it on the other arm. Not near as good of an atomizer. So, left arm has Versace Pour Homme. Right arm has Missoni Wave. This is a little bit more astringent, white floral because of the neroli. This is a little bit richer. There's a little bit more sweetness here with this one. Like a kind of vanilla sweetness. With the sea notes, with this, it's definitely got a little bit of a lavender smell without being too soapy. It's like a shower gel scent, but not as simplistic as shower gel. There is similarities, but they're not the same fragrance. There's clear similarities, but I can smell differences for sure. I smell more sweetness here. A little bit more of a lavender sweetness, lavender and vanilla type of smell, and it's much more aquatic because I believe there's sea notes in here. I remember that being one of the main notes when it first was released because I've been wanting this since it came out. This definitely smells a little bit more creamy, woody, and soapy white floral. So there's similarities, but there's differences. There's just as many differences as there are similarities. So we're going to put this away, but it definitely reminds me of it. That was the fragrance. I couldn't pinpoint it at first, but it definitely has a pretty good resemblance to Versace Pour Homme. This is nice. Doesn't smell anything complex. Kind of a simple but not too simple summer fragrance. I like that kind of stuff. Doesn't smell too redundant to anything. I mean, I didn't have a bunch of fragrances that smelled like Versace Pour Homme, so even though it smells kind of like that, it's got a little bit of a floral touch, but it doesn't really come across like really white floral or anything like that. It doesn't have an iris smell or violet, but it's got a little bit of a floral garden just undertone in the backdrop. I'm trying to find the right words to explain to you guys what I'm smelling here. Definitely has a nice vanillic sweetness to it, though. I'm pretty confident there's going to be some vanilla in here. The C notes stand out. There's like a mandarin orange smell that I had at the beginning that I don't really smell anymore, so it may not even been there. It might have been my mind playing tricks on me or just something going on with my skin chemistry. This is pretty nice. I'm very, very happy for the $31.99 I spent. Very happy. This is going to be getting a pretty good dose in the rotation this summer. This actually screams summertime to me. It's a little lightly powdery. There's even a little bit of a spice in the backdrop, like a light, fresh spice. It's changing a little bit. This is pretty freaking nice. I'm going to tell you right now, before we look at any notes or anything like that, just based on how it smells and how it's changing just subtly, this is a pretty damn good fragrance for 32 bucks. And look, I know presentation's not the most important thing in the world, but it's a damn heavy-ass bottle that has a gorgeous gradient blue with an actual magnetic cap. It is metal with plastic filling, so there's a little bit of a metal feel on the exterior, but I mean, this is solid for $32, guys. This is a great rack store pickup. If you can find this at the rack stores, I don't know, roll the dice. I mean, it's hard to not like. I can't imagine too many people not liking this. Is there people that aren't going to like it? I'm sure they're out there, but this is a pretty safe fragrance right here. This is a safe blind buy, I think. Damn, this smells good. Let's pull up these notes and see what it supposedly is. All right, Fragrantica. We're going to try Fragrantica. I'm sure. Yep, here we go. Missoni Wave. Main accords are aromatic, citrus, marine, fresh, spicy, floral, woody, lavender, salty, sweet. All of that makes sense. I don't really get much woodiness other than a creaminess, so it might be like some sandalwood. Is the wood in here? But let's see. Came out in 2020. Highly voted, 4.3 out of 5 with 390 votes. Top notes, C notes, Sicilian mandarin, and citruses. So there you go. It does have some orange. Other citruses apparently, but the orange kind of stood out. Mid notes of lavender, clary sage, rosemary, and Egyptian pelargonium. I don't know what the hell that. I've never heard of that. This note right there. But the lavender, clary sage, and rosemary makes sense. That rosemary must be given that light, fresh spice that I'm getting in the backdrop as it started to dry. The lavender I definitely smelled. Base notes of vanilla orchid. There you go. That's more of a floral touch and the vanilla smell I was getting. Oak moss, Haitian vetiver, and patchouli. I don't really get any patchouli here. Unless that's providing some of that creaminess to go with the vetiver, because it does have a creamy wood smell, so the only thing that I could see that would come across as woody is the vetiver. And patchouli can definitely provide some creaminess. It smells very creamy as it's starting to dry. A little soapy. A lot of this makes sense, mainly is what I'm getting at here. But this is a really nice fragrance. It's not mind-blowingly good. It's not some 10 out of 10 type of masterpiece by any means, but for 32 bucks, this is a solid freshie that it's not super unique by any means, but at the same time, it's not every fresh fragrance. It's more along the lines of taking Versace Pour Homme and reworking it to be a much more aquatic fragrance with a bit more sweetness. So it's kind of like Versace Pour Homme with some added character and depth. It's kind of how I'm viewing this fragrance. What performance is going to be like? Who knows? We'll see. But yeah, I had a fragrance lined up to wear tomorrow, the day this video goes live, but I think it's getting bumped. I'm rocking this. The day this video goes live, this is going to be my scent of the day. Well, that's my first impressions on Missoni Wave. I'm super happy to finally run across this one. It was one that's been on my want list for a while now, since it got announced and when it first released back in 2020. I've been eyeballing this one, kind of on and off, waiting to find it for the right price, procrastinating. You can find them for a good price online, but anytime I can find what I feel is a fair price for me at a rack store and find it in the wild, I'm game. And I gotta tell you, I'm impressed by it. I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. I'm impressed by this. I think it's very good. It's right above what I consider better than good, because 6 and 6.5 out of 10 are my better than good ratings. Very good is 7 and 7.5. So this is very good. I like this. I will be wearing this. If you see this out there, hey, and you trust my opinion, roll the dice on this son of a bitch. This is a good fragrance. I like it, damn it. So, yep, Missoni Wave. Some good stuff. And until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, because I do appreciate all the feedback and I love hearing from you guys. Those of you that have this already, what do you think about it? Let me know down in the comments. I'm sure some watching this video are going to want to know different experiences in performance. By all means, if you get weak performance, talk about the weak performance you get. If you get great performance, talk about the great performance. If it's just okay, let everybody know it's just okay. I'll update you guys in the weekly rotation coming up with the little bit of time I'm going to be spending with it between now and the next weekly rotation, but I'm pretty happy with it in this first impressions. I got to say, it's a damn solid freshie. And until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on Missoni Wave and you give it a spray now, you might end up thanking me later. Have a good one, guys.